And it gets worse. Let's listen to the testimony of Barbara March, whose son was a deputy county sheriff in Los Angeles who was murdered.
And I am so grateful to have this time to share with you about my life, about the life of my family, and about the life of my son. However, I want to let you know that it has been 6 years since our loss. And I found it's necessary now to let my son go to his destiny. I am here today mourning the loss of my country. I have spent 5 years trying to understand why my son is dead. And the things that I have found has led me to embarrassment and shame for my government that has betrayed the citizens of the United States. We have many good fighters in our government, as you all are today, that I am truly grateful for. But it seems that we have more of those that are out for their own self-interest, their own glory, and to support their own financial well-being at the cost of the citizens of America who pay their salaries. I consider this such a betrayal. It is hard to believe. So like I say, I am mourning the loss of my country now that I have this knowledge. As Ronald Reagan once said, a country without borders is not a country. And without realizing it, about 25 years ago, I was losing my country slowly. We've all known that there are illegal aliens coming across our borders daily. But what I've come to realize in the last 6 years is that the employees of the American people, the politicians that we elect to serve us, have turned against us and are not protecting us. My son was a law enforcement officer in California, Deputy Dave March. And on April 28th, 2002, he was murdered in cold blood while doing his job. The night before, not knowing that he would soon be going to his death, he said to his wife that he was going to stay at home. He wanted to be with her that evening. And so he would stay at home and write a report on a criminal gang of thieves that he had previously arrested. The following morning, his wife said goodbye to him for the last time. Dave went to his position in his sheriff's car and noticed that somebody was driving erratically. What he didn't realize is this illegal alien named Armando Garcia had told his sister as he left the house that morning that he was going to go out and kill a cop. My son took off after him when he saw the way that he was driving, pulled him over, and to make a long story short here, Armando Garcia stepped out of his car. My son followed the rule of law perfectly, but was in a no-win situation. And as he patted down Armando Garcia, he reached into his belt, swung around quite quickly, shot my son in the arm. The bullet penetrated both lungs and collapsed them, and my son fell to the ground. I can only imagine how much pain he was in at that moment. And then Armando Garcia did what cartel gang members do, came back and at close range held the gun to my son's head and pulled the trigger, exploding his head. And of course, we have never seen and never had a moment to share with Dave again. I received a phone call that day from Sheriff Lee Baca telling me that my son had been executed in gangland style. That our government is giving the advantage to these killers is a travesty to law enforcement. Los Angeles, we've come to find out Los Angeles is a sanctuary city, and law enforcement has to give every advantage to people of Hispanic background. America is not only sanctioning the importation of drugs from Mexico, we are rolling out the red carpet here in the United States for drug cartel members. This must be stopped. It is costing us all our freedom. The people who have built this country, the people that work for the country, the good people of this land have lost freedom. We no longer feel safe in our own neighborhoods. If I could have one more moment to share with Dave, what I would most like to tell him would be that I'd love to say, Dave, your life counted. You made a difference. And I know he would say to me, Mom, if my life could make a difference, I would do this all over again. Thank you.
Ed, how long exactly did it take to get this guy back into the United States?
After he killed Deputy Sheriff March, he fled to Mexico, where he remained as a fugitive for 4 years. It took the U.S. government, working in conjunction with the Mexican government, 4 years to get him extradited. When he was extradited, he stood trial and is now currently serving a life prison sentence without the possibility of parole. What's incredibly horrific about the Deputy March killing, as his mom testified, was the fact that the individual who perpetrated this murder in effect stated to individuals he knew that he left that morning, he left his home with the express purpose of wanting to kill a law enforcement officer.
So premeditated.
It was clearly premeditated.
That's awful.
Okay, and as I said,